Welcome, 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 welcome to this. Welcome to this episode. It's an interesting episode, and we are going to really dive into why does the Nigerian economy want to demonetize its currency notes? Why does it want to replace its current existing big notes with new ones? Why does it have to? And remember, back in the day, somewhere in 1980s, they already did that. And for us to build this conversation, we really it is very critical for us to try and get an existing example from the recent past for us to be able from another country. And for this case, let's discuss about the Kenyan economy. Once we discuss the Kenyan economy, we will be preempting towards building the case towards the Nigerian economy. Are you ready? Guys, let's begin this conversation. So, I'll be checking on the side because I have notes and I'll be reading some of the extracts. So I hope you don't mind. We're building a conversation, and the essence of Traders Lounge is to get you into a position where you are able to actually convert the articles or the news, the latest releases within the trading and the financial space to sensible knowledge to a typical trader or even a typical guy on the street. So back in 2019, just as the political heat was building in the Kenyan economy, what happened? The then former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta came up with a notice through the CBK, meaning the Central Bank of Kenya, to ban or to replace the existing 1,000 shillings notes, 500 and I think 200 or something like that, and 100 shillings. They decided to replace the then existing notes into a new note going forward. And there's something that I'd like us to really go through. So there's this article that I was going through, and it was like Kenya's new banknotes and the battle against corruption. Underline that word, corruption. Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta this is back in 2019, Kenya's President Uhuru Kenyatta has announced that the country's currency is to be replaced with a new generation of banknotes. Kenya must return their 1,000 shillings notes to banks by 1st October. That was in 2019. In a bid to fight, number one, money laundering, number two, counterfeits, and number three, corruption. Take note of those three things. New banknotes are to be brought in over the coming months, with other denominations being phased out gradually. You get that? Some Kenyans have expressed anger over the new banknote design, which features an image of the statue of Kenya's first president, blah, 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 blah. The decision of the design, as well as the clampdown of the 1,000 shillings notes, had been challenged to court. There is a conversation that we want to build, and this is a conversation affecting most economies, especially the emerging market economies, because the demonetization of a country's currency has happened in several instances, and the examples that we can go over, and we'll get into that. But the biggest concern, number one, is to fight money laundering. Money laundering, it can be done in several different formats, but in this particular context, especially the people, big guys in the political scene or entrepreneurs, especially the ones who do business with the government through the tendering process, most of them have shoddy deals that help them accumulate and amass a lot of money, because these bribes are normally paid in cash. This money is normally stored in houses or in individual vaults. This money is either transacted in cash or it is moved into safe havens, meaning in those offshore bank accounts, even physically, just physical transportation of this currency to go for reserves in those places. That is money laundering. Counterfeits is the kind of wash business that is going on across Africa, especially in the most economies like mainly Nigeria, even Kenya. Part of it is significantly propping up, especially in the leafy suburbs, as well as corruption, because most of this money is obtained through illegal means. Therefore, you find that out of 10 notes in circulation within an economy, only 5, maybe 6 notes actually get into the main banking system. The rest is money that is being exchanged out here without necessarily going through the banking system. That has a significant impact on an economy. We will get there, but let's build the conversation. So, why was Kenya replacing its banknotes? Kenya is withdrawing the notes to crack down on embezzlement and tackle a wave of counterfeit of the 1,000 shillings notes. The governor of Kenya's central bank, Patrick Jologe, also expressed grave concern over larger banknotes being used for illicit financial flows in Kenya and also other countries within the region. Now, do you start to get the picture? The 1,000 shillings note is the highest value note in Kenya, and according to Mr. Njoroge, the Kenyan shilling is equivalent to the US dollar in East Africa in terms of its recognition, and that is a fact. Then it goes down by saying President Kenyatta promised to stamp out corruption when he was elected in 2013. But his critics say that there have been few convictions since then, especially of high-profile people. BBC Africa business reporter says the demonetization, meaning the replacement of the existing currency with the new format of currency, notes is okay. The withdrawal of a coin, note, or precious metal from the use of legal tender is seen as a direct response to the criticism. But that is not the case. Officials and well-connected businessmen in corrupt cartels are believed to hold hundreds of millions of illegally obtained shillings in cash. And withdrawing the 1,000 shillings note is expected to close the money laundering avenues as they have to be exchanged for the new currency. Now, put that conversation aside. This was just a basis of us building the conversation. Now, put that aside, and I'd like us to jump into just a minute into what other countries have demonetized their currency before.